Welcome, everyone, to the Viking Insider Live. I'm Activities Director Sean Irwin, and today is a very special day at Howell and across the world, basically. Today's National Women in Sport Day, and we have a very talented group of student athletes joining us today that are going to talk about their experiences being a female student athlete at Howell and talk a little bit about just some of the benefits that they're getting from being involved and just really talk about the great experiences they've been having being involved at Howell. So today we're joined by Tatum, Kelsey, and Molly. How's it going, guys?
Good.
So we'll just kind of hop into this right away. I think one of the things that happens when you come to Howell, one of the things that's very important is getting involved in an activity club or sport. And we really talk about it a lot as a freshman and want to get all of our freshmen involved. And then we want all of our students to continue to stay involved throughout their high school career. But just take a little bit of time to talk about how important was it for you to get involved in the sport at Howell?
Okay, I'll go first. I played basketball and soccer my freshman year when I came to high school, and I think it was just really important, like, joining a sport right away because you could see, like, new faces that you wouldn't see if you weren't able to play those sports.
Yeah, I agree. My freshman year, I played softball, basketball, and soccer, and I think it was just really important, like meeting new people. I met a whole bunch of new friends that I wouldn't have met otherwise, and I was able to become really close with all the coaching staffs, and I've been able to rely on them for help all 4 years of my high school experience.
My freshman year, I played golf, swim, and lacrosse, and with lacrosse being a new program, like a lot of people hadn't played before, so it was nice to like build those new connections and like help like teach people the game, and we got to be friends with like a lot of upperclassmen and just like everyone in the school, not just freshmen, which was nice.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that's great that a lot of people touch on about getting involved in our sports is just the closeness. We talk about the Howell family a lot, but just the closeness amongst our programs and also across the student athletes that are involved in them. And I think it really does create a lot of great friendships that you probably otherwise wouldn't have had unless you were involved and spending all that time that comes in during your season, during the off season, during the summers. So I think it's really a great way to get to know more students at Howell and to really become involved. One of the things that I really talk about a lot that I think is important is when I think about my own personal life, I think about a lot of the things that I was able to pick up on or to benefit from because I was involved in a sport growing up and at the high school level and at the college level. Talk a little bit about how you feel that being involved in a sport at Howell, how has it helped you become a better student, maybe a better athlete, a better person? How do you think it's prepared you more for life after high school and, when you're out of high school, out of college? Do you think that there's some pieces that you've learned here at Howell by being involved that are going to help make you more successful?
Yeah, I think one of the things at Howell, like our coaches really do care about not only creating better athletes, but creating better people. And so like through playing sports, I've been able to develop leadership skills, time management skills, work ethic that will ultimately help me become more successful in the future. And not only that, but like we really do pride ourselves in giving back to the community and doing like volunteering with other organizations. And so I think it's just amazing to be a part of.
Yeah, like for my experience, we have been like taught so many like social skills and like that I really wouldn't have like learned otherwise, and like that we can use in like etiquette, how to respect other adults, and then responsibility, and just like on and off the field, both like new aspects that we wouldn't always learn if we weren't in sports, and it just like helped us a lot as a person and a student.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it also makes you a little more excited to come to school overall because when you play a sport, you usually practice like every day after school and games and stuff like that. So instead of just coming to school and like, just doing everything like that, you also get to look forward to like right after school, you're doing something you love. And I also think what Molly said with time management, it's like really important because for those people that are like going off to play sports in college, it like really sets you up with having that like practice mentality every day and also like having to balance like the schoolwork with how much of that sport you are doing.
Yeah, I think, when I look back at like my high school career and playing in college, I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for me as well, is just that time management piece. I think you become so much more efficient. You look at better ways to get things done because you do have a lot of things going on. You have your sport, you have school, you have your personal life. So I think it really prepares you for life, beyond that, because you're eventually going to get to the point where you have your work, your family, your kids, and things like that. So I think it really does help prepare you for those things and learn how to manage your time and manage those different things. So that's one of the benefits that I've got as well. And I'm glad to see that our student athletes are benefiting in that way as well. One thing I want to talk about a little bit is I think unless you've been involved at Howell, maybe you might not realize what it means to be involved in a sport. But just talk a little bit about what does it mean to you to be a Howell Viking, and how important is it for you to be able to represent Howell with the long history of success that our programs have had, and kind of trying to continue that success and to continue to grow it?
So like being a Hell Viking, like we obviously take a lot of pride in it, and like in the St. Louis area, like sports is a pretty big deal. And so like when other schools play us, we usually have a good reputation of like having that respect on and off the field and being a good program. Like we usually win a lot of our games, and we're like a competitive team. And so just that whole idea makes you really proud to be a Viking, and then just seeing how welcoming everyone is too. Like for any grade, it just makes me like also want to be welcoming, because my experience when I was a freshman, like the seniors were so welcoming, and I wasn't sure who they're gonna be, but like with everyone being so nice, it just like made me want to keep going and have like, oh, I get to look forward to practice if I had a bad day at school, and it was really nice.
I agree with Tatum. You both said it, like the success you've had. I think it's like really nice to say you're a part of a program that like has had so much success in like every sport. Like every sport we talk about or hear about, there's always like good things that come from it, whether it's winning or like doing something great as a team, like besides winning. I also had a really good experience my freshman year with people being like very welcoming to me, soccer and basketball. So yeah, I think it's really cool to say that you're a part of such a big like community that really prides themselves.
I agree with both Kelsey and Tatum. I think that, we really pride ourselves in being good in what we do. And I think that it's awesome to see, like, anytime we play like a team from another school, they always bring their best of the best. They give us their best lineup. They give us whatever, because they know they're going to have to compete when they play against us. And I think it's just really amazing. And like, you also see it with just how many teachers come back. Like they go to Howell and then they come back and they want to teach there because they have so much Viking pride. And a lot of families, they go to Howell and then they move back into the district so their kids can go there because they just want their kids to have the same great experience that they had throughout high school.
Yeah, I definitely think there's a sense of pride in that you went to Howell and that you were involved with programs, and I think it's really pretty unique, and it's just an atmosphere that really isn't everywhere. But one of the things I want to do is before we get out of here today is that when I think about some of our most respected female student athletes and our females that are doing things the right way and representing Howell in a positive way, I definitely think your three names are definitely come to mind for me, and I appreciate you guys joining us today. And one thing that I wanted to do was give you the opportunity to maybe give some advice to maybe next year's female incoming class, and just what advice would you give to them for getting involved in a sport at Howell and making the most out of their high school experience?
Right. I would say like don't hold back. Like don't be afraid of what other people like set standards to and stuff like that. I think it's really important that like if you find a sport or even like an outside activity that like you love, like go do that, because like there's always going to be people around you who like judge you for certain things or who like don't think you'll succeed. But as long as like you put your mind to it, like anything can happen.
No, I agree with that. I think just going out, just make the most of every opportunity. I think it's really important, like at how all of our programs are so nice. They're so welcoming. They really do have that family atmosphere. And I know for me, I wasn't planning on playing softball my freshman year. It just kind of happened. And then this year, my senior year, I actually decided to play tennis. I just decided to try something new. So just put yourself out there because you never know what opportunities are to come.
Yeah, like with what Molly and Kelsey said, I agree with that a bunch. Like, do not be afraid to try anything. Like, if you're scared because like none of your friends are playing or they're not doing this club or something, just go do it. You will make friends. You'll make so many friends. And like looking back, you'll be happy you did it instead of worrying like, oh, I should have done that. It looks so much fun. Like, just go do it and try your best. No one will judge you.
All right. Well, Tatum, Kelsey, Molly, I just wanted to, again, thank you guys for coming on and joining us today, and glad to have you share some of your experiences and talk a little bit about being involved in a sport at Howell. And also for everyone watching at home, if you go to Twitter today, FH Vikings, we're going to showcase a lot of our female student athletes with some quotes from them and some pictures and things that really highlights the great things that are going on in our programs for all of our female student athletes. So I just want to thank you three, and I want to thank everybody at home for watching. We'll see everybody in the next Viking Insider Live.